let's get started. And this is the topic we're going to look at today. Examples of hands where you're playing in a trump contract, but trying to make the most of a long side suit. So let's have a look at some examples of this. And actually, I'm going to start off with a bidding question for you. You're north on this hand. You open one spade, your partner responds 2 hearts. And the question is, what is your rebid? So have a little moment to think about this, and I will launch a poll in a moment. And the question is, what do you think North should rebid with this hand? Okay, let me share the results with you. Now we have a very even result with a lot of people going for 2 spades, then 3 spades, 4 hearts, or 3 hearts as the possibility. So let's have a look and see what we think. Well, what does it mean when your partner responds 2 hearts to 1 spade? That bid should promise a 5-card heart suit. It's the only time that bidding. It's the only time that bidding a new suit, not jumping, promises a 5-card suit. So I think, even though you really love your spade suit, I think you're probably better off supporting your partner's hearts. So my vote goes for bidding hearts. Now, it's very easy when you see that lovely spade suit to think you really want to be in spades, but it turns out on this hand that you're probably off better supporting your partner's suit, where you know you have at least an 8-card fit, rather than rebidding your spades. And if you're thinking about what level to bid at, your hand is fairly much a minimum in terms of points. It's only 12 points. You might also look at the number of losers you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a minimum in terms of the losing trick count. So perhaps you should just bid 3 hearts, although my second choice would be 4 hearts because it is very nice distribution. But that will be my suggested bid, that you should end up in a contract of 4 hearts. If you bid 3 hearts, your partner will raise you. And this was the hand as it actually was. And if we have a look at this from South's point of view, you can actually see you have a fit in both suits. You have a fit in spades and you have a fit in hearts. And actually, when this hand was played, it was played in face-to-face bridge before the lockdown. And this was the traveller from when it was played. And you can see that actually most people played this in 4 spades. The majority played it in 4 spades. A few people played it in 4 hearts. Although if you look at this little grid here, it actually says that you can make 6 hearts, 12 tricks in other words, whereas you might only make 4 spades. So we can have a look at this, how this should go being played in hearts. Although no one actually made 12 tricks in hearts, the top score went to someone who just made 1 over trick, and that got them a top score of 22. Match points. But if we go back to look at the hand, let's have a look at how you would expect it to go playing in a heart suit. And I've got what we're going to do is, sorry, just a second, just want to check something. What we're going to do is have a little think about how many potential losers does declarer have on this hand. So looking at it played in 4 hearts, have a look at the 2 hands together, and we'll think about how many losers we've got. So if we look at the heart, so if we look at the spade suit, there are no spade losers. If we look at the heart suit, we're probably going to just lose 1 trick there. We hope that with 8 hearts, the opponents have got 5. If they divide evenly, or even in some other situations, we hope we'll only lose one heart trick. And we've got 2 diamonds to lose, 1 heart, 2 diamonds. And we've got some club tricks to lose. Now, the possibilities are for the clubs are either to rough them in dummy, or maybe we can make use of this side suit, this long spade suit. So let's see how it goes. Let's suppose the opponents start with a diamond, which is their best lead. And that diamond lead has exposed our 2 diamond losers right away. Now, one hope we have is that we're able to discard those diamonds on the spade suit. So we're going to start off by drawing trumps here. Let's suppose we play the ace and then play another heart, which we win with the king. We've drawn 2 rounds of trumps now, so there's 1 trump still outstanding. And of course, you don't want to draw that, because it's nearly always a mistake to draw a last high trump. Just let them rough in with it. And if here, of course, if we were to lead another heart, they would win and be able to cash 2 diamonds right away. So our only good chance here is to try and run the spade suit and hope that they can't rough in with the jack of hearts before we're able to discard some of our losers. So that's what we're going to do on this hand. We'll start off with the queen winning in the short hand, cross over to the ace, and while this is going on, we're just hoping that we can cash as many spades as we can without the opponent's roughing and switching back to diamonds. If I bring up the 4 hands at this point, you can see that there's just 1 spade outstanding. And when we play another spade, we're lucky on this hand that East has got that last spade. So we're able to discard a diamond. And if that works, we'll play another spade. And the best that East can do here is to rough, but we can still discard our losing diamond. So we don't lose any diamonds. They will probably switch back to a diamond and we can rough that. There are no more trumps outstanding. So now we can just play the ace of clubs, rough a club, and our spades are now set up. So I can play the last spade, discard the last club, and we've got the last 2 trumps. So played this way, you should be able to make 12 tricks there. It needed a little bit of luck in the spade suit, but as long as you're able to, as it turned out, you're able to play 3 rounds of spades without any rough, and then you played the 4th round and were able to therefore discard a diamond. If you'd been less fortunate, if, for example, East had only had 2 spades, they could have roughed the 3rd round, but at least you'd be able to discard 1 diamond there, but maybe only made 11 tricks there. So that was really the best way to try and play that one. Interestingly, if you played this in 4 spades, which many people did, whether you make 4 spades depends on the opening lead. So at another table, it might have been bid like this: 1 spade, 2 hearts, 3 spades, and then 4 spades. And if I click on the GIB button, it will tell you that you can still make 2 over tricks if they lead a club. Whereas if they lead a diamond, you'll just be held to 10 tricks. If they do lead a club, just see what would happen on this, and you would win that one. Now you've got very good trumps, so you can draw all the trumps here. Okay, so that's all the trumps gone. And then you might try and play the hearts. And on the 3rd heart, the opponents will be able to get in, but because they led a club initially, they won't be able to cash any tricks. If they play another club, you can rough that one, come back to your hand with the ace of diamonds, and then your hearts are good now, and you can discard your diamonds on it. So you can also make 12 tricks that way, but as I said, only if they lead a club. If they lead a diamond, it turns out that you can only make 10 tricks here, because if they lead a diamond, it knocks out your ace, and then when they get in, they'll be able to cash 2 diamonds. So either way, it's a similar idea of drawing some trumps or all of the trumps, and then trying to cash your long suit. Do stop me if you have any questions on this one. And let's have a look at this one here, where this was the one I sent out in email at the weekend. East opens a diamond, you South overcall 1 heart. And this bidding sequence here, where North bids 2 diamonds, is something I covered recently called the unassuming Q bid. So it's used to show a hand where North wants to support my hearts and wants to invite game. So something like 10 to 12 points with at least 3 hearts. So if they bid 2 diamonds here, I've got, I'm not that strong in points, but I do have a very nice 6-card heart. So maybe I would accept the invitation and bid 4 hearts. So let's have a look at how that one would go. And let's suppose the opponents lead the Queen of Diamonds on this one. And I've got a second poll question for you here, which is, how many potential losers do you think Declarer has here? Let me share the results with you. And this time, most of you have gone for 4, 76%, with 24% saying 5. So let's switch back and have a look at it, this hand here. Let's count the potential losers in every suit. Well, in clubs, I think I've got 1 potential loser there. I've got 2 potential diamonds, and it looks like I'm going to lose them right away. No heart losers. And if I look at spades, I've got 1 loser there. I've got the ace king, and the third one I'm going to lose. So yes, I agree with the majority of you. You have 4 potential losers on this hand. And let's suppose the opponents start off with that Queen of Diamonds, and East overtakes with the king, plays back another diamond, the ace. And if they play a 3rd round of diamonds, you should realize there's a distinct risk here of that West is now out of diamonds. They led the Queen probably from a doubleton. And if you want to win this trick, you should probably ruff high. Fortunately, you've got pretty good trumps here. You've got the ace, king, queen, jack, 10. So I think it's important to ruff high here. So let's suppose I decide to ruff with the 10 and West discard. So that was a good choice by me. And what are we going to do now? What's our prospects to avoid? We've lost those 2 losers. And we've got a club and a spade to lose. And it may seem very difficult to avoid either of those losers, but really the only good chance is to try to set up that spade suit. It's not a fantastic suit, but if the missing spades divide evenly, 3 in one hand and 2 in the other, you should be able to set up at least to get some extra tricks in spades on which you can discard the clubs. When this hand was played, no one actually made 10 tricks here, but this is how I think it ought to go. So you ruff that one there, and because we're going to need to play spades, it's a good idea to think about drawing trumps. Let's suppose we play a round of trumps, everyone follows, and let's suppose we play another round, and everyone follows to that. So that's 8 gone there in those 2 rounds, plus 1 we ruffed, which was 9. And in fact, that's all the hearts gone because we've got 10, 11, 12, 13. So we were lucky there the opponents followed. And now our only good chance here to avoid 2 more losers is to play the spades. So we'll play the ace and the king. And if everyone follows, we're now in good shape, because all we now need to do is give up a spade. The opponents will win that one, but we have now set up the spades in dummy. So whatever they play now, we're going to win that one. We can cross to dummy, and now we can cash a spade. discarding a losing club. And played that way, we can just make our 10 tricks there. As I said, when this was played before, no one managed that. And it's sort of easy to overlook that spade suit because it doesn't look that great, but it really is the only possibility to set up an extra trick or two. Anyone have any comments or questions on that?
Yeah.
Yep.
The comment I would make is if the hearts split 3-1, which is more likely, you should lose the first spade so that you keep an entry.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of that's right. I mean, a couple of possibilities there. If you discovered that the hearts divided badly, 3-1, as you said, then I think you could still make this, but you would need to keep, well, there may be different ways of doing it, but one way will be to keep the Queen of Hearts as an entry over there. So in other words, only draw 2 rounds of trump, leave the last one out, then maybe play the spades, and then you would, after you've played the 3rd round of spades, you would hope to be able to get to dummy with your last trump to cash your spade. So yes, it's a little more tricky if they divide badly, but I think it can still be made if the spades divide favorably for you. But yes, thank you. That is more likely, although on this hand they did divide evenly, as it turns out. Let's look at this hand here. I've got a bidding question for you here, which is your partner opens 1 spade, and what should South respond? And the majority here have gone for 2 hearts, 70%, with some saying 3 hearts, a couple of votes for 2 diamonds, and 1 person said something else. And yes, the right bid here is 2 hearts. It's when you have 2 5-card suits, you're responding to one of a suit, you bid the higher ranking one here first. And as we already looked at earlier, the 2 heart response promises a 5-card suit with at least 10 points. I don't think you need to bid 3 hearts here. 3 hearts would show a slightly stronger hand, normally more like 16 points. So I think 2 hearts is absolutely right. 1 person voted for something else. If you are that person and would like to tell us what you chose and why, you can do so, but you don't have to. But yes, 2 hearts is the right bid here. And
Tony, isn't it a 4-loser hand? Oh, can you only do the losing trick count if you've got support for your partner suit?
Yes. You shouldn't really use the losing trick count unless you're.
Yeah, but I felt it was a very strong hand. It is a
very strong hand, and if we find a fit, it'll be very strong. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, 2 hearts is absolutely fine. It's 10 to 16 points, I think, which is what you have. And
guilty, Tony.
It was you. What did you say? Nothing. Something else.
Yes.
What was that then?
3 no trumps.
Oh, what a terrible bid, don't you think?
Oh, is it really?
Well, do you think so? I mean,
no, I don't, because the spade opener would imply possibly 5 spades.
Yes.
And unknown number of clubs, but as I'm sure that there's likely to be more clubs in North Hand.
Right. Well, you could be right.
I'm giving no information away regarding my suit holdings.
No. I mean, the reason there are a couple of reasons I wouldn't choose 3 no trump, although you're absolutely right, it could work out very well for you. One is that I'm a bit worried about the club suit. And 2, we may well have a fit in a major, and normally you're better off finding a fit in a major if you have an 8-card fit. So, it could work out well for you, but I would certainly be a bit worried about the club suit here. Anyway, I recommend bidding 2 hearts on this hand.
Okay,
And-
guilty.
And if you do, your partner will support you. Here they can show minimum hand and bid 3 hearts, and you should end up in a contract of 4 hearts there. So as we can see, 4 hearts looks like a pretty good contract here. On this particular layout, 3 no trump would be makeable, I think, but a bit more of a challenge because you've only got that 1 club stopper. Let's have a think about how we're going to play this in 4 hearts. And again, I'd like you to think about the losers you have. And I'd like you to try and imagine that you started off by winning the first trick, drawing all the opponent's trumps. How many potential losers would you have? And I'd especially like you to think about the likely distribution of the suits, the likely distribution of all the other suits, and how many potential losers does Declarer have here if you start by drawing the opponent's trumps first. So let's have a go at that. If Declarer starts by drawing all the trumps with the most likely distribution in all the suits, how many potential losers does Declarer have? And quite a wide variety of responses. 1 was 45%, 3 was the next choice, 36%, with 3 people saying 2 and 1 person saying 4. So let's switch back to it and see what we think. So in spades, I'm going to count no losers because I've got the ace king opposite a doubleton there. I've got 1 heart I expect to lose, the ace, and no clubs because I've got a singleton opposite the ace there. Now, diamonds needs a little bit of thought about how many potential losers you have. You have 5 diamonds here and 2 in dummy, that's 7. That means the opponents have got 6 diamonds. And the most likely distribution is that they are divided 4-2. 4-2 is most likely, followed by 3-3. If they are divided 4-2, you have a potential diamond loser. Okay, so I think it's quite useful to phrase the question in that way so that you can see, yes, you with a 4-2 division, you have a potential diamond loser as well as a trump loser. So I think the answer is 2. You have 2 possible losers. However, we can do better than that because once we realize that, we can see we're not going to draw all the trumps here, and we're going to cater to the missing diamonds dividing 4-2 by roughing a round of diamonds. And we'll therefore not lose any diamonds anytime the suit divides 4-2 or 3-3. So that's what we're going to do here. We'll win the first trick, and we won't play trumps yet. We'll play 2 rounds of diamonds. And if everyone has followed to that, the key play here is not to play a 3rd round, because if you play a 3rd, if you try to cash another round of diamonds, that will get roughed unless they divide 3-3. So a lot of people see that diamond situation and they want to cash the ace, king, queen. It's actually a mistake. And the best way to play this is to cash the 2 top rounds of diamonds and then to play a low diamond, which we're going to rough in dummy. And we're planning to rough this high with the jack or the 9, so it can only be over roughed with the ace. On this particular layout, when this was played, West actually discarded, so you can rough low now because you know East has another diamond to follow with. And now you've done that, your diamonds are now established. So all you now need to do is set about drawing trumps, play the a heart. Eventually you'll force out the ace of hearts. So just bring up the four hands at this point. And whatever they play now, if they play a club, we can ruff that last one, draw the last trump, and then our diamonds are good. The ace of diamonds is good, and the four of diamonds is good. And now we've just got the ace and king of spades to take, and we'll ruff the last one and make 12 tricks there. So we started off with 2 possible losers on this hand, but we were able to eliminate one by roughing 1 round of diamonds. And I hope you can see it's a mistake here with that 4-2 distribution to play the ace, king, queen, because that will get roughed. Even though it gets over roughed, you'll miss out on an extra trick there. So again, when this one was played, I think only 3 people made 12 tricks on it. Others, may have drawn all the trumps and then tried to cash the ace, king, queen of diamonds, and had another loser there. By the way, I just wanted to say on this hand, I mean, the benefit of bidding 2 hearts rather than 3 no trump is that if you don't have a heart fit, and if you don't have a spade fit, if you don't have it in either major, then you'll probably end up in 3 no trump. But bidding 2 hearts gives you a chance to find an 8-card fit in a major, which obviously you won't find if you just jump to 3 no trump. I fully concede that there are some situations where jumping to 3 no trump will be the winning play, because the opponents, don't get any clue what to lead, or it will make just as many tricks in 3 no trump as in 4 hearts. But generally speaking, it's better to be in your 8-card fit in a major than in 3 no trump. Any other comments or questions on that? That ends the topic today, which I hope you found useful. And I'll just stop sharing my screen with you.